Detroit just opened the door we've been waiting for quietly, cleanly, like a front office that understands windows don't stay open in January. I'm talking about a move that solves the thinnest piece of our depth chart without blowing up the cap. A move that keeps the defense on schedule in money downs and lets our pass rush finish the story. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report. Here's what I'm laying out for you today in one sweep: the real condition of our cornerback room, why the market shifted in our favor this week, how the cap math actually works, what kind of pick it would take, how he changes the way offenses try to isolate our safeties, and yes, the name you think I'm circling is the one I'm circling, but I'll get there when it matters. First, context. The league's trade clock stops on November 4th at 4 p.m. ET, the moment when contenders either press their bet or try to thread the needle with what they already have. That deadline sits right after our bye, and the divisional battle that always feels like a bar fight with film attached, which means any addition has to be plug and play, mentally sharp, and scheme versatile from snap one. This year the market is jittery, and when the market is jittery, value hides in the slot and in sub-packages. That's where this front office has been looking. Now look at why the seller's side just blinked. Tennessee hit the reset button at the top, and you don't fire a head coach in mid-October unless you're ready to listen on expiring pieces that don't fit your next build. That's the tell. When a team shifts power like that, the first players to get evaluated as available at the right price are productive veterans and final year rookies with a clean contract profile. The Titans' decision changed the tone of calls around the league this week, and that matters for Detroit because we aren't chasing a star, we're chasing precision. Precision in leverage, in spacing, in how we pass off crossers and rally to the sticks. Here's the state of our room in practical terms. We've got outside talent and competitive depth, but the NFL keeps putting you in nickel and dime. That's where games swing. Opponents don't just hunt the third corner. They hunt the third corner on third down, and they do it with motion. Stacks in those option routes that force a defender to declare. We've invested premium capital on the outside and brought in experience to steady things. But the most efficient upgrade right now is to add a slot-savvy cover man who can mirror in short spaces, understands leverage rules, and can survive when offenses get you into basketball on grass. That's how you turn long drives into punts without needing a splash play every series. It's not flashy. It's how contenders win in November. And if we're talking about the slot, we're talking about usage, not labels. I want a corner who can play inside on second and medium, travel outside in certain matchups, hold up to quick game spacing, and finish with his hands. I want click and close burst, feet that don't cross under pressure, and the kind of patient hips that keep leverage against option routes so our safeties can stay aggressive. Give me a guy who shows up in mirrored releases, who doesn't panic when the route breaks late, and who knows how to find the pocket of the ball at the catch point without drawing laundry. That player transforms the math for our front four because an extra half second of coverage is an extra hit for the edge and an extra hurried throw for the back end. This is why the timing matters. Detroit isn't shopping for a top-of-market CB1. We're shopping for a closer who slams shut the part of the field offenses love in 2 minutes. That's a different cost profile, and that's why this conversation is real. Expiring rookie deal, no fifth-year option, minimal remaining cash, cap hit you can stomach, and tape that shows he understands traffic in the middle of the field. That's the lane. And when you find the right player in that lane, you don't wait for a bidding war to make him 7% more expensive on Monday. Now let's talk about the guy. He's 25, plays with compact footwork, trusts his eyes, and he's been the Titans' primary slot for multiple seasons. He's not a thumper in the run game. That's not what I'm buying, but he's competitive to the catch point. He's seen every route combination teams use to pick apart nickel defenders. And he has real experience in stress looks on third down. His contract runs through this season. The number is digestible, and you can acquire him without robbing April. You probably know who I'm describing. I'm describing Roger McCreary. The contract is exactly what you want at the deadline. 4th year of a rookie deal, manageable cap today, and no long tail next spring. That's why this is the cleanest fit on the board for what Detroit needs in October. Before I dig into fit, let me show you how the math plays. McCreary's 2025 cap charge is in the mid $4.6 million range, with the remaining cash paraded across the weeks after an acquisition. For a team with functional rollover goals, that's an easy swallow if the pick cost stays in the day 3 window. And it should. Cornerbacks on expiring rookie deals don't command second-round picks at the deadline unless they're playing like all pros. The sweet spot here is a conditional 5th that can escalate to a 4th based on play time and playoff wins. That preserves Detroit's flexibility in April, keeps ammo for a future edge or interior offensive line addition, and still gets you the sub-package closer you need right now. On the grass, the fit is obvious. Put McCreary inside on money downs, and you immediately stabilize the route distribution that's been attacking the short middle. He's seen bunch and stack releases since his first month in the league. He's comfortable squeezing space without grabbing. When offenses send shallow over combos to create natural rubs, he stays patient and plays through the receiver rather than chasing ghosts. That discipline helps our safeties keep their eyes where they belong and lets the rush. I also like him in simulated pressures where the nickel bluffs and bails. He understands timing, which means we can show pressure, drop him, and still be right at the sticks when the ball arrives. 3rd and 5 is where this defense grows up with a player like this. Detroit's roster decisions in the last 2 cycles make this even cleaner. You drafted high-end outside talent, added veteran experience in free agency, and converted the room into a group that can play man or zone without tipping tails. Adding a slot-savvy, contract-clean corner at the deadline locks the puzzle. Suddenly, your coverage menu can live in man on one side, match on the other, with the nickel carrying inside routes and replacing at depth when motion flips the strength. That's how you keep your call sheet broad in December and disguise more late. And with the schedule tightening, these inches matter every single week. Let me be honest about risk, because there's always risk. McCreary isn't a heavy hitter, and he's not going to erase tight ends in the run fit. He'll miss a tackle or take a conservative angle once in a while, and you live with that. You're buying his coverage timing, his feel for route stems, and his ability to survive the inside game without panicking. In this defense, where the front accelerates throws and the safeties communicate fast, that trade-off is worth it. You keep his plate clean, let him major in slots and zips. Give him help rules on the verticals, and you get exactly what you paid for. Calmer 3rd downs, fewer freebies in the flat, and a couple of drive-killing PBUs when the stadium needs the most. Now the part everyone wants to know, is this just smoke, or is there fire? The market signals are loud. Tennessee's leadership change is a public we're listening. McCreary's contract profile is tailor-made for deadline conversations, and our needs line up perfectly with what he does well. That combination doesn't guarantee a deal, but it pushes the probability curve in our favor if we move before the league stacks offers on Monday. This front office has executed midseason ads before on the right scale surgical. Not splashy, and that's the exact blueprint here. You keep your core untouched, you rent the skill set you need, and you make the rest of the conference play left-handed on 3rd down. If you're asking me for a framework, I'll give it to you straight. Conditional 5th in 2026. That escalates to a 4th with 60% defensive snaps and a postseason win. Plus a 2026 7th coming back to Detroit as balance. And Tennessee eats a small roster bonus if one exists. Clean, fair, and fast. For a contender trying to buy time for the rush to get home and for the young outside corner to keep growing, that's exactly the kind of lever you pull at the deadline. I'll land the plane. Detroit needs 3rd down calm and inside route discipline more than it needs a headline. Roger McCreary gives you both at a price that respects April and a fit that respects what this defense already does well. The deadline is set. The seller is motivated. And the role we're trying to fill is the one he's played for 3 straight seasons. If we execute, we're going to feel it the first time an offense tries to steal a slant flat and the ball hits the turf. Before I wrap, I want you in this with me. Do you make this deal at that price? Or do you hold the picks and trust internal answers? Drop your take below. Tell me your pick value and how you deploy them in our sub-packages so I can pin the smartest cap sheet plan for everyone to see. My final read. This is the kind of disciplined, deadline smart edition that helps you win ugly in January without ever shouting for attention. If you're with me on it, like the video, hit subscribe and keep the bell on. I'll be here the second anything moves.